Before the headlines, before the fear and the power, there was Cyril Beeka, the father, the brother, the friend. Those closest to him remember a man who gave generously, who opened doors for others, who loved deeply, a protector to his family, provider to those in need. He wasn't just a name whispered in nightclubs or linked to criminal legends. He was someone's dad, someone's brother, someone's chance at a better life. He was a bouncer turned underworld kingpin, a man with one foot in the nightclub scene, and the other in intelligence, murder, and extortion. Linked to war criminals, feared by rivals, and ultimately gunned down in broad daylight. This is the story of Cyril Beeka, Cape Town's most dangerous mystery. Cyril Beeka was born in Cape Town around 1962, one of 8 siblings. He grew up in the working-class suburbs of Cools River and Belleville. He had discipline early on, earning his black belt in karate in just 4 years. But it wasn't long. Before his life would drift far from dojo walls and into the shadows, Beeka began his adult life working as a bouncer at Cape Town's roughest nightclubs. But he wasn't there just to break up fights. He was scouting opportunity. In the 1990s, he founded security companies like Pro Access and Red and Pro, which quickly dominated the club scene. At his peak, Cyril Beeka controlled 90% of nightclub security across Cape Town, but his methods were brutal. Club owners were forced to accept his security, or face the Moroccans, a group of martial arts enforcers Beeka deployed to intimidate, beat, or kill. As his empire grew, so did the blood. Beeka was suspected in multiple crimes: drug trafficking, money laundering, contract killings, racketeering, and extortion. The streets of Cape Town whispered his name, not just in fear, but in grudging respect. He didn't just control security, he controlled fear itself. In 1999, he was a suspect in the brutal murder of a Chinese sailor who was allegedly drowned in the Cape Town docks over a drug shipment dispute. But that wasn't the only body tied to Beeka's orbit. Investigators also linked his network to the 2003 disappearance of a local strip club manager who had allegedly defied his syndicate's control. The man vanished without a trace, no body, no arrest, no answers. Beeka was also reportedly implicated in a failed assassination attempt on a rival club owner in the early 2000s, an ambush that left 2 bodyguards dead and the owner critically wounded. Police believed it was a message: resist Beeka's empire and pay the price. But Beeka's reach wasn't just local. It had deep ties to international criminals, including notorious Czech fugitive Radovan Krejcir, a man at the center of Johannesburg's criminal underworld. Krejcir, accused of torture, drug smuggling, fraud, and multiple assassinations, reportedly maintained a hit list. And Cyril Beeka's name was on it, clear signal that alliances in this world were fragile and betrayal was inevitable. There was also Yuri, the Russian Ulianitski, a Ukrainian mob enforcer feared for his brutality. Beeka and Yuri reportedly worked side by side in Cape Town's shadow economy, running smuggling operations. protection rackets and controlling, turf wars across the nightclub, and dockyard economies. When Yuri was assassinated in 2007, gunned down in a professional hit with his 4-year-old daughter in the car, it shocked even hardened gangland veterans. Some say the killing of Yuri signaled the opening of a silent war, a cold, calculated campaign that would see Cape Town's most powerful men taken out one by one. Beeka knew it, and his enemies knew. His time was coming. But Beeka wasn't just a gangster. He was connected to the very forces meant to stop him. During the apartheid era, it's alleged that Beeka operated as a covert asset for South African military intelligence, part of a vast and secret web of spies used to monitor anti-state actors and underground movements. Former operatives say Beeka was what they called a field ghost, a street-level source with eyes in the clubs, its ports and docks. He was valuable not because of what he knew, but because of who trusted him. And when apartheid collapsed, Beeka didn't lose power. He shifted alliances. In post-apartheid South Africa, he kept close ties with some of the most powerful men in intelligence and policing, including former Secret Service Director Mo Sheikh and anti-gang unit head Major General Andre Lincoln. These weren't just acquaintances, these were gatekeepers to the state's deepest secrets. Beeka was believed to have been a dual asset and informant for multiple units, including NIA National Intelligence Agency and local SAP's anti-crime units. He leaked information on rival gangs, foreign drug syndicates, and even other police, officers gaining favor from both law enforcement and criminals alike. These relationships blurred the line between justice and corruption. Beeka wasn't just playing both sides, he was orchestrating them. He allegedly tipped off police about narcotics shipments, while using their silence to run his own. He was even known to intervene in arrests of allies, redirect investigations, and reportedly had access to classified intelligence reports, privileges no ordinary criminal could obtain. His network of protection extended from Cape Town precincts to Pretoria's intelligence corps. Beeka's influence in police circles created a wall of immunity around him. Prosecutors feared retaliation, detectives found cases inexplicably stalled, and witnesses disappeared. For over a decade, Beeka was considered untouchable. His overlapping ties to intelligence and organized crime didn't just shield him, they empowered him. He was running rackets with government blind eyes turned the other way, till someone decided otherwise. March 21, 2011. It was a quiet public holiday in Cape Town. The streets of Belleville were unusually still. Cyril Beeka was in his BMW 7 Series, headed toward his business offices in Motam Road. But something felt off. Earlier that morning, Beeka had taken a phone call that left him visibly agitated. His security detail, usually tight, had been scaled back. His movements were uncharacteristically exposed, and by late afternoon, some believe he had started to sense the noose tightening. He wasn't alone. Seated beside him was Dobrosav Gavric, a Serbian national who wasn't just any associate, he was a convicted war criminal. Sentenced for the assassination of Serbian mob boss Arkan in 2000, and now living under a false identity in South Africa. Surveillance reports would later suggest Beeka had been followed for days. Unmarked motorcycles were spotted trailing him. Phone towers picked up encrypted burner calls. And yet Beeka, confident or cornered, kept moving. As the BMW neared an intersection on Motam Road, A black motorcycle with 2 riders pulled up beside it. What happened next took less than 5 seconds. Automatic gunfire erupted, a professional hit. At least 4 rounds were fired at close range. One struck Beeka directly in the head. His vehicle rolled to a stop, engine still running. He was killed instantly. Gavric, sitting next to him, was injured but alive. But here's the twist. Dobrosav Gavric wasn't just a passenger. Many believe he was part of the hit. A man with deep ties to Serbian and Eastern European mafia had once pulled the trigger on one of Europe's most feared gangsters. Now, possibly working off a hit list orchestrated by Radovan Krejcir. The location, the timing, the lack of security, it all seemed too perfect. Was Beeka set up? Was the hit called in by a rival, or worse? Was his own associate the man beside him, the inside man? Beeka's murder sent shockwaves through Cape Town's criminal underworld and intelligence circles. But the case quickly grew cold. The man driving with him, Gavric, was later arrested for entering South Africa under a false identity, but never charged for Beeka's killing. A protected witness would later claim links between Beeka's murder and those of other high-profile figures, including Yuri Ulianitski. But no one was ever convicted. The trail led through international hitmen, South African police, and the murky world of spies and gangsters. And then, silence. Cyril Beeka's funeral drew hundreds. He was mourned by family, feared by rivals, and eulogized as a larger-than-life figure. But his death created a void, one that quickly became a battlefield. Into that power vacuum stepped a new generation of underworld players. Mark Leifman, alleged to be one of Beeka's longtime rivals. Andre Nadi, a controversial businessman tied to security and smuggling networks. Jerome Donkey, Buisan, leader of the Sexy Boys gang, and Nafiz Madak, who would later be charged in multiple violent crimes, including the murder of Detective Charles Kinnear. With Beeka gone, the battle for Cape Town's streets exploded into violence. Drive-bys, extortion wars, shifting alliances, and a deepening link between organized crime and elite law enforcement figures. To this day, no one has been held accountable for Cyril Beeka's murder. Theories still swirl. Was it an Eastern European mafia hit? Revenge from Krejcir's network? A betrayal from Gavric? Or was it orchestrated from within the intelligence community itself? Cyril Beeka was more than a gangster. He was a fixer, a connector, a dangerous man who knew too much and trusted too few. His murder didn't end Cape Town's gang war, it ignited it. So who really pulled the trigger? Who gave the order, maybe? Some questions were never meant to be answered. If you made it this far, you're part of a community that demands truth. Drop your theory below. Who killed Beeka? Was it the Serbian connection, a local rival, or someone in a uniform? Like and subscribe for more deep dives into South Africa's criminal underworld.